It's not always easy, is it? Understanding your child, especially as they grow older, can feel like trying to crack a code that's constantly changing. Sometimes it's like they're speaking a different language, and you're left feeling a bit lost. But when you truly understand your child, it makes life so much simpler. And who doesn't want life to feel a little easier, right? As you get older, you've probably learned that life is much about relationships, whether it's with your spouse, your friends, or, of course, your children. And that includes learning how to support them in ways that not only make them feel heard but also make your relationship stronger. It's about understanding them on a deeper level, seeing them as they truly are, warts and all, and figuring out how to best navigate the twists and turns of life together. It's not about being perfect, but rather being present, patient, and adaptable. In this video, we're going to talk about 6 simple ways to better understand your child, which can make a world of difference in how you communicate and bond. When you understand them, you can help them navigate the world with confidence and resilience. And who doesn't want to see their child succeed and thrive? Let's start with the first one: listen deeply without judgment. Now, this might sound a little too simple, right? Of course, I listen to my child, you might be thinking. But I'm not just talking about hearing their words. I mean truly listening to them. When was the last time you sat down with your child and really let them speak their truth without rushing to give advice, solve their problems, or pass judgment? It's so easy, especially as parents, to want to fix things. But the truth is, sometimes, your child just needs to be heard. If you think about it, you probably want the same for yourself. You want someone who will listen, really listen, to how you're feeling without immediately trying to change things. The same goes for your child. By giving them space to speak without interruption or criticism, you show them that their thoughts and feelings are important. It builds trust and makes them feel validated. It's easy to jump into parent mode and offer advice the moment they express frustration, but try to resist the urge. Instead, offer them a listening ear. Ask open-ended questions like, "How did that make you feel?" or "What do you think would help in that situation?" By doing this, you're not only hearing their words but also supporting their emotional intelligence as they learn to process and articulate their feelings. Now, let's move on to understanding their perspective. This is where things can get tricky. The world they live in is very different from the world you grew up in. Technology, social norms, and even the way people interact with one another have evolved. But here's the thing, while their world might look different, the basic emotions they experience are the same as what you felt at their age. The key is to look past the differences and tap into the universal feelings of frustration, excitement, confusion, or joy. It's all about empathy. I'm sure you remember being their age and dealing with your own challenges, whether it was fitting in at school, handling peer pressure, or simply trying to understand your own identity. Think back to how overwhelming some of those moments might have felt. Now, I'm not saying you should always agree with your child's perspective, but try to acknowledge it. Even if it feels a bit foreign or hard to understand, validate that it's real for them. For example, if your child is upset because they didn't get invited to a party or they're struggling with a tough school project, don't brush it off by saying, "It's no big deal," or "When I was your age, I had it worse." I'm sure you've heard those phrases before, and while they may be coming from a good place, they don't offer the support your child needs in the moment. Instead, try saying something like, "I can see why that would be frustrating," or "That sounds like a tough situation, but I know you can handle it." This validates their feelings without making them feel belittled. And most importantly, it shows them that you understand their perspective. The third way to understand your child better is modeling emotional expression. Now, this one is important because children often learn how to handle their emotions by watching how we, as parents or caregivers, manage our own feelings. If they see us handle our emotions with grace, whether that's through taking deep breaths when we're upset, talking through our frustrations, or even admitting when we don't have all the answers, they will feel more comfortable doing the same. Think about it. How many times have you felt like your child was acting out, and you found yourself getting frustrated or even raising your voice? It happens to the best of us. But if we don't learn to manage our emotions in a healthy way, how can we expect our children to? The next time you feel frustrated or angry, try to pause and express it in a calm, controlled way. Maybe say something like, "I'm feeling a little upset right now, but I'm going to take a moment to calm down before we talk about it." This not only teaches them how to deal with difficult emotions, but also shows them that it's okay to feel upset. What matters is how you choose to respond. By showing your child that it's okay to have emotions, and that it's possible to work through them without turning to anger or frustration, you're giving them a powerful tool they can carry with them throughout their lives. So, there you have it, 3 ways to help you understand your child better: listen deeply without judgment, understand their perspective, and model emotional expression. These 3 are essential building blocks for a deeper, more connected relationship with your child. Now that we've covered these first steps, I'm excited to dive into the next ways to truly nurture that understanding and create an even stronger bond. But for now, think about how you can put these ideas into practice today. Just remember, the more you understand your child, the simpler life becomes for both of you. Stay with me, and let's continue this journey together. I'm so glad you're sticking with me as we continue this journey of understanding your child better. Now that we've explored the first 3 ways, listening without judgment, understanding their perspective, and modeling emotional expression, let's dive into the next set of tools that can truly make a difference in your relationship with your child. The 4th way to deepen your understanding is creating a safe space for open communication. Now, this might sound like a no-brainer, but it's one of the most powerful things you can do to foster trust with your child. A lot of the time, children, and even teenagers, don't feel comfortable sharing their innermost thoughts because they fear judgment or that they might be misunderstood. But by creating a safe, non-judgmental space, you open the door to more meaningful conversations. Imagine this: if your child feels like they can talk to you about anything, big or small, without worrying about being scolded, belittled, or dismissed, they're going to come to you more often when things get tough. This doesn't mean you have to agree with everything they say or condone their actions, but it does mean you're willing to listen and offer support in a way that helps them grow. So, what does creating a safe space look like in practice? Well, it's about showing that you're available, emotionally present, and open to hearing their thoughts without rushing to judge them. For instance, let's say your child comes to you upset about something that seems small or trivial to you. Maybe they're upset over a disagreement with a friend, or maybe they're stressed about a school project. It might be easy to brush it off with a simple "it's not that big of a deal," but that would be missing an opportunity to create that safe space. Instead, try responding with something like, "I can tell this is really bothering you. Let's talk about it." That simple invitation to talk can mean the world to them and can strengthen the bond you share. Next, let's talk about being patient with their pace. As much as you want your child to open up and share their feelings with you, sometimes they might not be ready. This can be a tough pill to swallow, especially when you want to help and be there for them. But sometimes, your child may need a little space or time before they can process their feelings and articulate them. And that's okay. Everyone has their own pace, and it's important to respect that. This doesn't mean you should give up on trying to communicate. What it does mean is being patient and not pushing them too hard. You see, when we pressure children to talk about something before they're ready, it can actually create a barrier. They might shut down or even become defensive. But if you show them that you're patient, understanding, and that you're there for them no matter what, they'll feel more comfortable coming to you when they're ready. This also helps them develop a healthy sense of autonomy. They can learn how to process their emotions in their own time, with the confidence that they won't be forced into a conversation until they're ready. It's all about creating that space where your child feels like they can come to you when the time is right for them. It's not always about pushing for immediate answers, but rather offering them the tools they need to open up when they're ready. Another important aspect of understanding your child is celebrating their individuality. As they grow, they begin to form their own identity, sometimes in ways that may surprise or even challenge you. But embracing their uniqueness is a crucial part of deepening your understanding of who they are. Just because they don't always follow the path you imagined for them doesn't mean they're doing something wrong. In fact, it's often when they step outside of your expectations that they start to discover who they truly are. Take a moment to think about how you felt when you were growing up. Were there times when you felt pressured to conform to someone else's idea of who you should be? Did you long for the freedom to express yourself and explore what makes you happy? Your child is doing the same thing, and it's important to recognize that. By celebrating their individuality, whether it's their interests, quirks, or even their different way of thinking, you're telling them that they are accepted for who they are, not who you think they should be. This doesn't mean you shouldn't have expectations or boundaries, those are important too, but it does mean respecting their choices, even if they're not exactly what you would have chosen for them. If your child loves painting, but you'd prefer they focus on academics, instead of discouraging their passion, try supporting it. You never know, that passion could become something that builds their confidence and helps them navigate other areas of their life. The last way I want to talk about today is modeling flexibility and compromise. This one is crucial, especially as children grow older and start asserting their independence more and more. They're going to test boundaries, express their own ideas, and sometimes even challenge your authority. It's all part of their journey to becoming independent and self-sufficient. But if you approach these moments with flexibility and a willingness to compromise, you teach your child a very valuable lesson, that relationships require give and take. No one likes to feel like they're always being told what to do, and that includes children. While it's essential to maintain certain rules and expectations, it's just as important to be open to negotiation. Instead of automatically saying no when your child asks for something, try having a conversation with them about why they want it and how you both can come to a compromise. For example, if your child wants to stay up later on weekends, you could say, "Let's make a deal. You can stay up an extra hour, but that means no screen time the next day." By being open to compromise, you demonstrate that you're willing to work together to find solutions, and in turn, your child will feel respected and valued. So, in summary, the 4 ways we've talked about today: creating a safe space for communication, being patient with your child's pace, celebrating their individuality, and modeling flexibility, are all about fostering a deeper understanding of who your child truly is. The more you understand them, the stronger your relationship will become, and the simpler life will feel. But there's still so much more to explore. Stay with me, and let's continue to uncover the remaining ways you can strengthen your relationship with your child and ultimately be happier together. Now that we've covered the first 4 ways to better understand your child and make life easier for both of you, let's dive into the final 2. These are equally important because they help foster an environment where mutual respect and understanding are at the core of your relationship. Let's pick up right where we left off. The 5th way to deepen your connection with your child is offering consistent support, not just advice. There's a big difference between offering support and simply giving advice, and understanding this difference can make all the difference in how you interact with your child. It's easy to fall into the trap of wanting to fix things for your child, especially when they come to you with problems. After all, as parents or caregivers, we want to make their lives easier and help them avoid mistakes. However, sometimes what your child really needs is not advice, but your emotional support. They need to know that you're there for them, no matter what. For example, if your child is struggling with a difficult school project or feeling overwhelmed by their social life, instead of jumping in with solutions like, "Well, you should just ask your teacher for help," or "I think you should hang out with different people," try offering them the space to talk through their feelings and figure it out on their own. Saying something like, "I know this is tough, but I'm here to listen whenever you need to talk," can mean more than any piece of advice you could give. By offering support, you're showing that you trust your child to solve their problems and that you believe in their ability to handle challenges. This helps build their confidence and independence. The key here is to let them know you're there as a constant presence, not just as someone who has all the answers. Another important aspect of offering consistent support is to be there during both the highs and the lows. Whether your child is experiencing a victory or facing a setback, they need to know that your support doesn't waver based on their success or failure. Imagine the difference it makes when your child feels like they can share their accomplishments and struggles with you, knowing you'll always have their back. Finally, the 6th and final way to truly understand your child and create a simpler, happier life is embracing their growth and change. Children don't stay the same. As they grow, their interests, needs, and personalities evolve. This can sometimes feel challenging, especially if you're used to seeing them a certain way, but it's essential to embrace the changes they go through rather than resist them. Think about your own life, how much you've changed over the years. The things that mattered to you when you were younger are probably very different now, and the same will be true for your child. The key is to view their growth as something exciting rather than something to fear. The more open you are to seeing your child as an evolving individual, the easier it will be to connect with them. This means allowing them the freedom to explore new hobbies, interests, or even relationships, even if it feels unfamiliar or uncomfortable to you. It's important to remember that just because they change doesn't mean they're drifting away from you. Instead, they're learning, growing, and finding their own path, which is a beautiful thing. As a parent or grandparent, your role evolves too. You get to be a guide and a cheerleader, offering support while allowing them to step into their own shoes. Take, for example, a child who starts to develop their own tastes in music, fashion, or even their career interests. You might not always agree with their choices, and it's natural to feel some resistance. But when you embrace these changes, you're showing them that their growth is something to be proud of and that you support them, no matter where their journey takes them. A great way to demonstrate this is by simply engaging with your child's changing interests. Ask questions about the things they're passionate about. Instead of dismissing their newfound interests or hobbies as a phase, take the time to listen and ask them to share more. This shows them that you respect their individuality and are genuinely interested in who they are becoming. Throughout this whole process, remember that your relationship with your child isn't just about teaching them, it's about growing together. Just as they are learning and evolving, you are too. Each step you take to understand them better brings you both closer, and that's where the true happiness lies. So, to recap everything we've covered so far, you've learned how creating a safe space for open communication, being patient with their pace, celebrating their individuality, and modeling flexibility can all help deepen your understanding of your child. And we've also explored how offering consistent support and embracing their growth are essential parts of this process. In the end, it's all about fostering a relationship where both you and your child feel heard, respected, and loved. When you understand each other on a deeper level, life becomes much simpler and much more fulfilling for both of you. You'll be able to navigate the ups and downs of parenting or grandparenting with more ease and confidence, knowing that the foundation of your relationship is built on mutual trust and understanding. I hope these insights help you connect more deeply with the children in your life, whether they're your own children or your grandchildren. Remember, understanding takes time, and it's a journey that will continue as they grow and change. But by applying these 6 ways to be happier together, you'll find that your relationship becomes a source of joy, peace, and fulfillment. Thank you for joining me in this conversation. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What works best for you when it comes to understanding your child or grandchild? Share your experiences in the comments below, and if you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a like and subscribe for more tips on building stronger, happier relationships with your family. Here's to better connections and a more joyful life with the people you love.